All right, folks. This week on Let's Talk Snowboarding, we have Chad Riley in the booth. And Chad is a ultra talented photographer, videographer, really just a creative mind. He's also a ripping snowboarder, and it's been really cool to get to know him a little bit before we put on the cameras and got on the mics. So with no further ado, we're going to get into it. The Chad Riley episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Snowboarding, presented by Mountain Vibes. And this week we have a heavy hitter in the booth. We got Chad Riley sitting down with us. Chad, how are you doing?
Oh, doing great. Thank you for having me. Just got back from Costa Rica with the family, so I'm feeling good.
Great. And as always, we got Josh Nishimoto on the producer side. How's everything going, buddy?
Oh, yeah, man. Doing good.
Awesome. Well, Chad, you just mentioned it. You just got back from Costa Rica. How was the trip down to some warmer weather?
Perfect timing just before Thanksgiving, and we had a great time with the fam getting out there. It just wasn't really a surf trip, more like a experience it with the family and the kids. So zip lining, all those little things around the volcano. And then we did one surf day, and like we mentioned earlier, my son took a little ding to the head with a surfboard and had some stitches in Costa Rica, so that's a good memory for the family.
Yeah, he took one to the noggin. That's for sure. I kind of saw the pictures, and that was a good split on his eyebrow.
Yeah, it was a little scary at first. I'm freaked out, but by blood sometimes.
Well, that's the dad in you, right?
Right.
Like you're in a different country, and
like now
really
where do we
know
go?
what's going to happen. So
yeah, like I said, it was amazing. Went from the beach to the hospital and out with stitches in his eyes. Above his eye. 90 minutes. I'm like, this is not going to happen in the U.S. though. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Yeah. And what was the home base in Costa Rica? Where were you guys at?
Well, there's the big volcano in the north. We flew into Liberia, and we stayed on the north side of Costa Rica and went to Arenal, the volcano area, and La Fortuna. And then just after that, went down to Tamarindo area.
Cool.
So just didn't really explore a lot. That's still exploring a lot just because the roads are so difficult to navigate sometimes, and you're not really getting a lot of distance. So we just decided to stay kind of in North Costa Rica.
That's a pretty cool strike mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many days were you down there?
We were there 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah. You always want more, but 10 days is good. I'm ready for the snow. I saw the snow coming in the forecast, so I'm like, let's get back home.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah, and like we were talking about before, you were here in Couer D Alene and drove over to Seattle because the wifey had found some good deals on some tickets.
Yeah,
so
$350 round trip from Seattle to Liberia, Costa Rica. We couldn't miss on that one.
Yeah.
We took the kids out for like the whole week of school before Thanksgiving, so they just had to do some homework on the airplane.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. That's nice. And we kind of chatted the other week at your house and kind of did a little bit of like a pre-conversation before the podcast, and that was really cool. And I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about being a dad before we get into snowboarding and stuff. Your kids go to a really awesome school here in Couer D Alene that actually my wife and I want to send our kids to as well. So how's that experience been for you, as far as, we're not going to name the school or anything like that, but
we can't name drop.
Yeah, the school that your kids go to is a really, really kind of like different, special, alternative school. What's it like over there?
It's just a great family community. Everyone puts in their work with their part each year. It's kindergarten through fifth grade now. Anyways, close proximity to where we live, so the kids are walking home, walking to school, and just makes it a really magical kind of downtown, zone for us.
Yeah.
Couer D Alene.
Yeah.
Not to give too much away, I guess.
Yeah, not too much away. Yeah, downtown can be a
Any
broad area
downtown.
here. So
And the teachers there are great. We know them really well, and a lot of them live in the area as well. And so we see them just on the weekends. We see them walking their dogs out in the streets. So
Yeah.
it just kind of feels like you are a really tight-knit family there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, community in this town.
Yeah.
Couer D Alane's getting a lot bigger and everything with the buildings going up and everything that's going into the downtown area as far as, and also expanding out into the outer reaches. But, like you said, with the school that your kids go to, I find that with the daycare that my kids go to, just feel very good about, sending them there and the teachers that work there and the community that is there and, kind of segueing into community, the community of Couer D Alene as far as the snowboard community here. You've been here. Let's kind of go into your story.
Side note real quick about that school thing. I just feel like it's special. I have the phone numbers, the cell numbers of the few of the teachers, and they text me once in a while and ask me questions, or they'll text me, hey, this happened at school, or I'll text them like, hey, can you send my kid home like 10 minutes? Or anyways, it's like, who gets to text their teachers while they're in school?
Right.
It's kind of an interesting, different school system. You wouldn't do that at larger schools anywhere.
Yeah, that's so true. There's an app that our kids' daycare uses as far as my kids go, and they anywhere from texting us to like, hey, this happened today, something that you should be aware of, or hey, here's a bunch of photos we took today of your kids being awesome and cute and like, yeah.
So, being dad's the best. So
yeah, it's the best, man. It really is. And that community is kind of segue into us talking about snowboarding up here. Let's get into your story. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up born and raised in Visalia, California, so Central Valley, and my parents had a bit of land outside of there, so I grew up kind of in the mountains outside of that area, and we'd always go to a little ski resort, maybe never heard of it, Sierra Summit, outside of Fresno, and it turned into China Peak Ski Resort now.
Okay.
But it was a fun mountain, had some cool terrain, and that's kind of, I started skiing at like 5 with my parents taking me up there. They're all skiers, and then the whole snowboarding craze hit. What year was it? I mean, I was probably 12 when I wanted to snowboard. And my parents were like, we're not getting you a snowboard. They're so expensive, and it's all new, and you're not going to like it. You're going to hate it. And I saw these kids flying off these little jumps at the ski resort there at China Peak. And I'm like, man, I want to do that. Plus, I kind of got heckled by some of the snowboarders. I'm the guy, the skier, the kid, at the time, like 7 or 8 years old, up on the top, and they're flying over me like, get off the jump, you kook. And so then I'm like, oh man, I want to be that cool guy though. And I saved up a bunch of money, worked, I don't know what I did, worked for my dad, just helping him fix things around the house, and saved up money, went down and bought like a $500 Burton, I think I got the Terje Hawkinson board. No, it was a Jeff Brushy board.
Okay.
First board.
Nice.
And never looked back, kind of.
Yeah. What was your what was like your local shop growing up down there?
Ooh, boy. Big question right now. It was this kind of like a Zoomies almost in a mall.
Okay.
It wasn't really like a core snowboard shop at the time.
Got it.
Because there wasn't like a lot of snowboard things happening. Everyone's just skier heavy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was just like a Zoomies or something like that in the mall.
Nice, dude.
And so we would all go there in the mall and just like pick up the snowboards and act like we knew what we were talking about, the swing weight and side cuts, and touch them.
Yeah.
For half an hour.
That's awesome. And what year, you mentioned it, what year was that when you started getting into it?
I think it was 1990.
Okay.
92.
Nice.
Something like that.
Yeah. So like the very primitive, like when it started getting a little bit bigger in those early to mid 90s.
You saw like snowboard videos were coming out, and you saw the scenes of, you've got magazines coming out with, I think there must have been a Transworld by then, Snowboard magazine.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, picking those up wherever I could. And there was these cooler kids that were part of my church group that we went to on Wednesday nights, and they were all snowboarders. So I just kind of looked up to them as like, oh, those are the cool kids. They're skateboarders and they're snowboarders, and so I want to be like them.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, you mentioned China Peak, Mountain Vibes, the company that I am president of right now. They're based out of Orange County,
okay,
California. So we have had a lot of riders that are China Peak
Totally.
locals, as well as, all the other resorts that are down there as far as like Snow Summit, Big Bear,
yeah.
everything like that. So China Peak was the first resort you went to. And how long did you kind of snowboard down Southern California?
I was there probably just 3 years snowboarding down there.
Okay.
And then, no, it must have been four or five. And I moved up here when I was 18 to
Okay.
Idaho. And that's kind of the transition up to the Northwest. My parents moved us up, and that was in 95. So yeah, it's probably maybe 90 to 95 down there. And then 95, I was in Idaho.
Nice. And while you were down there, you mentioned China Peak, but did you hit some of the resorts like Mammoth and... Guys, I want to talk to you about a new sponsor that we have. So big shout out to our friends at Fine Brewed Cafe in Couer D Alene, Idaho. Whether you're gearing up for a powder day or winding down after a long ride, Fine Brewed has you covered with craft coffee, legendary mimosas, and a killer vibe. They're all about fueling adventures, connecting the community, and keeping you caffeinated for whatever the mountain throws your way. So next time you're in town in Couer D Alene, stop by Fine Brewed on Sherman Avenue, grab a cup, and keep chasing that stoke. So we were kind of talking about Southern California.
Yeah.
China Peak, you've been to Mammoth and
Yep.
those other resorts down there?
Yeah, we did little excursions up to, my parents took me to Kirkwood and then Sierra at Tahoe. Experienced the Tahoe, mostly heavenly, of course, the southern portion of it. And then we went to a family trip to Snowboard, which blew my mind as a kid and loved that. And then also Mammoth a couple times. So it's cool to see my family, I guess, opened me up into the world of skiing at first and then transitioned to me seeing these other mountains and snowboarding. And I'm like, man, you can just see so much of the world and the country, of the states, and there's a lot more out there than China Peak.
Yeah, definitely. What was like the driving force behind the decision for your family to move up here to Idaho?
Yeah, it was a little bit multi-faceted. One was I was getting a little bit of trouble in school and some of my friends I was hanging out with. And on the other hand, my dad just kind of wanted to get away from the California vibes earlier than a lot of these transplants now. And he had that business opportunity to open up an HVAC company, which he was the owner of down there, and decided to say, hey, we're going up there and you can come with us or you can stay in California, because I was, I think, just turning 18 at that time. But I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going with you guys. A little reluctantly, because missing a bunch of my friends and just getting pulled from that.
Yeah.
But I knew there was mountains. I did the search and found out, it's a pretty cool spot. And yeah, I made the move, and it was just a super cool blessing and great for my parents. They loved it and made it great business opportunity for him up here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And did you guys move to Couer D Alene when you guys got here?
First it was Post Falls off of cross Spokane Street, and really lucky opportunity. My dad's business partner owned a home on the river of Spokane River.
Yeah,
Off Crystal Bay Drive, if you know that little turn there.
for sure.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful home on the water with a dock, and I'm like, man, this is living. This is way better than living in Visalia, Fresno area.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would jump in the, river every day and swim around and just be able to get to the mountains easy up there. And so we lived there for the first couple years. My dad basically got given the place to live in while he was transitioning from California there. And, well, not given it, but free of rent, because this gentleman lived down in California still, but just funded the whole process for the business. But then they ended up moving to the Couer D Alene, and then from there moved out to Rose Lake area, where they're at now.
Okay.
So now they're in Rose Lake
Nice.
on a little ranch.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Rose Lake
really
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. And my dad, just kind of like, I guess the Rose Lake, people know him, and he has an elk ranch out there.
Okay.
on the north side. There's a south side of the 90 elk ranch, and there's a north side, and my dad had the elk ranch on the north side of the Rose Lake exit there for.
Just right off the overpass, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For years.
That's really cool. My boss during the summers when I guide fly fishing up on the Couer D Alene River, Richard, he lives like right there at the overpass.
Okay.
Kind of towards the way station on Canyon
Oh,
Road
right.
there.
You turn back a little bit.
Yep.
towards
So
the
you
way
go back
station.
towards, and
Yeah.
he has a little property there, and he splits his time between there and now he's down in La Paz, Mexico, where
no way.
he has his own guiding service for fly fishing out on the oceans.
Oh, wow.
So he goes and fishes for like tarpon and all these like crazy cool fish. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's
Yeah, that sounds
definitely
like a
a cool
great way
guy.
to have worked out.
Yep, he's got it figured out for sure.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Well, nice, dude. So yeah, Post Falls coming up here. Growing up here, what was like kind of your home mountain when you kind of got settled in up here and were snowboarding?
Yeah, it kind of jumped around because as a 18-year-old, didn't have a lot of money to get season passes, so I would just kind of either sneak my way on, or, when I got a lift ticket, we would go to Silver Mountain, a little closer driving. Met a bunch of friends I just turned 18, got out of high school. A bunch of my friends were Post Falls kids because I was in Post Falls area, and I just met, actually working at the Couer D Alene Resort. I was working as a server for the convention center.
Oh, cool.
So I met another guy with a beanie on, had like, I don't know, Dakine or a Burton. I'm like, hey, you snowboard? He's like, yeah. And one of my best buds now, we still snowboard together, and Mike Jones, who grew up in Post Falls and went to Post Falls High. So we would and he lived not too far down the road from me too, so we just connected really good, and kept riding together. But we hit up all the mountains. Schweitzer was the one we wanted to get to all the time, but a lot of time it was Lookout and Silver Mountain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Gondola.
Yeah.
Bumps all the time at Silver.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, I don't know if you know the trick. I mean, one person gets the pass, and then you drop it out the window in the parking lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they figured a workaround to prevent that.
Who knows, man?
Don't give that one away.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that Ren from the Ski Shack always talks about, how Silver is cool. He has a hack at Silver. He always says, show up 20 to 30 minutes early on a powder day and be one of the first ones in line for the gondola.
Yeah.
And then you miss the crowd that's behind you loading the gondola, and it slows way, way down. So he's like, you almost have like a private resort for
Everyone's
at least half the day.
Getting funneled up there, backed up.
And you get out to like these lines that no one else is going to probably get out to until like, lunchtime almost, because the gondola is so backed up. So yeah, I've heard some cool stories about Silver. I'd like to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
This season. I'm a Schweitzer guy through and through, so
it's nice to have those high-speed chairlifts.
Yeah, and like, you have kids, I have kids, so Schweitzer is just it's such an easy thing to just drive up, get in the parking lot, run over to the little bunny hill, and start teaching them and stuff. So
get going down, and then just get riding right off the parking lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
man.
I like that. I got used to the drive over time. First the drive up there, an hour and 20,
Yeah.
a bit, but
I mean, I worked up there for, I think it was almost 5 years, teaching snowboarding up there. So I'm so used to, and then before that, I was driving from the Portland area up to Mount Hood to Timberline, doing the same exact thing, teaching. And so I enjoy getting up early, getting my coffee, packing up, and like seeing the sun rise as I'm driving up to the mountain, and, getting there before everybody else and getting out there early. So
that's what you would jump on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we got to stretch because we're getting older.
Yeah.
More stretching.
Oh yeah. You got to get up, about half an hour earlier.
Yeah.
And get the stretch on, get a little bit of blood flow, and then stretch it out a little bit so that you're not creaking by the time you hit the first run of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. For those of you that don't know, Chad, like I said in the intro, is quite the photographer and videographer, in my opinion. Seeing his stuff on Instagram, we'll put that down here in the link. But let's kind of talk about, when did you really start getting into photography? You moved up here from Southern California with your family, and then we haven't really dived into you going back, to the Tahoe area to kind of pursue, that pro snowboarder life and stuff like that. And from when we were talking the other week, that's when you kind of started getting into photography a little bit more. So let's kind of jump from where you were up here and then you made the decision to kind of pursue that pro snowboard life, and kind of take us into what went into that decision and when you found photography and were getting stoked on taking, photos of your homies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think moving up here, me and my buddy, I said, Mike, we just had cameras, and they're old, just, I don't know what they were anymore, but little Sony camcorders we just carry around and keep a bunch of tapes, the old, what were they called? DV something, DV8s or
DVR tapes?
Yeah, and we would just take them out and film each other, goofing off, building little jumps over at Lookout across the freeway, and just kind of loved it. And we'd put our own little edits together, put some music to it, and we'd just have all our friends in it. And it just become like everybody probably started that way. I feel like you just kind of want to film your homies and get that footage and rewatch it and check out what you're doing. And nowadays it's so much cooler and easier with the iPhones. But back then it was a lot more tedious and a little more gear to carry around the mountain and keep running. But all that to being said, I started doing more stills, and Mike was doing more filming, motion stuff. And so we were just kind of tag team together, and I'd shoot some stills and he'd put together, little video parts. And each year we just kept on improving it, trying to put more money into our gear. And we both just kind of loved it. And he ended up going into, well, this might be jumping too far ahead, but into film. And I started going into still photography more heavily. But all that to be said, I was just carrying a camera around all the time, like a Canon, just shooting stuff. And it's before digital, so it was 35 millimeter film, just having rolls and rolls in my backpack and shooting things and slides, looking at slides, sending off to get it processed and paying tons of money and getting like one shot back after hundreds of rolls of film. That was worth keeping. Learning that way. And there's a class here NIC actually took, which is kind of fun. I mean, I think that maybe where it started me. I took a NIC black and white darkroom course at the little college here, and started doing prints of my friends with black and white and kind of blowing them up to 11 by 14, 16 by 20s in the darkroom. Like, this is awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And this learning the darkroom process was fun, which people don't get it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to. Josh, do you ever notice that when you buy tickets for a show, you get hit with all these hidden fees?
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired of being gouged with hidden fees.
Dude, I just discovered this, but now whenever I purchase tickets, I try to search for venues and artists that use Ticket Goat.
What's Ticket Goat?
Ticket Goat is the greatest ticketing software of all time. With Ticket Goat, promoters can expect hassle-free setup, zero obligations, and a revolutionary $1 ticketing fee for event attendees.
So we can say so long to hidden fees?
Dude, 100% zero hidden fees. With Ticket Goat, steep ticketing fees are a thing of the past. Ticket Goat's revolutionary ticketing software allows owners to create custom ticketing options, access to event reporting, and a digital QR codes for mobile ticket scanning, all with no commitments and transparent pricing.
Sick. That means event owners can keep their profits and ticket buyers can purchase tickets without being gouged.
Definitely. If you are in charge of ticket sales and want a fast and easy way to sell tickets, go to www.ticketgoat.com and join the herd today.
Sick.
Kind of pause real quick because you speaking on that, it reminds me of like one of the most recent bomb holes that just came out with
Justin
Hispanic.
I didn't listen to it yet, but I want to, because I'm anyways friends with a friend of his.
Okay. And
he's awesome.
Yeah, his like you talking about that in the dark room in the process, and some of the stuff that he got just so stoked on was like that old school filming where there's a much more in-depth process from shooting it to all the way into processing everything that you do, and that those millimeters and those old school cameras, it was really cool to hear him talk about how that process is like, just like you said, like it's so much easier now. Like we got world-class video,
technology.
video and camera right here in the palm of our hands, and then, you know, also like cheap action cameras like GoPros to the DJIs to Insta360s, like super affordable, and they shoot 8K whenever you want, and you can kind of edit them down to however you want them to look and stuff, and it's just such a crazy change from that, you know, literally like maybe 15 to 20 years ago.
You're right.
You know, when we were doing different stuff back then. So
it's a huge change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, spending time in the darkroom just felt like you were, creating art more than just capturing a snap on your, you know, camera like we are now. And you're processing, learning how to put in, I mean, I try to do double or triple exposures with different people. Like here's a guy doing a method here, and then here's a guy grabbing indie in the pipe or something, and doing that in the darkroom was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Trying to make those things look good and look like they're real, but now you don't need that. It's like a click of a button in Photoshop and it's done for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Just piecing things together, making sequences line up really clean, and then trying to print those out.
Yeah, and I was kind of checking out like your Instagram a little bit more before we, you know, recorded and stuff, and you kind of have like a really nice mix of, you know, you got your Insta360 type stuff. Yeah, with you like just going out and riding
stuff.
super easy. But then you scroll down a little bit and it's like these crazy like fashion like photos that you've taken, stuff like that. Let's get in a little bit more into like the in-depth of like your photography and what you've shot within your life.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't just snowboarding. You've done like a broad range of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it started all because, like we said earlier, just because of the love of snowboarding and being out with your friends and shooting that, capturing those moments that you just want to come back and show your friends, or just be stoked to see your friend doing a sweet trick. And then moving kind of quickly into Lake Tahoe days, and we can catch up on these later, but trying to snowboard, get sponsors, and get my own little career that I thought I was going to have professionally, but then realizing that there's some really great riders in Tahoe when I was there, and taking my camera out was amazing. Just almost as much fun as hitting the jump was shooting my friends doing it and capturing that perfect light, perfect shot. That got me into, luckily, somehow connecting with some snowboard magazines and them paying for some prints, you know, some publishings here and there. And I'm like, I can get money from this. I'm doing this because I just love it. And I didn't care about the money, but I submitted photos, slides. We would send like 20 sheets of slides in there to the magazines, and they'd come back and say, we don't want none of them. And then you'd send another 20 like next week or month, and then they'd say, okay, we'll take one, and we'll pay you like $500 for a double page spread. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. I made it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't live off that, especially in Tahoe. So I had to do a lot of hustling and working other places, and working at, you know, Squaw Valley, where I moved in Tahoe was Squaw Valley when I moved down there from Idaho.
Okay. What were you, so yeah, let's go back to, we'll kind of rewind back to when you went down to Tahoe.
Yeah.
What were you kind of, how did you kind of start off down there? You said you were working at Squaw Valley. What were you doing at Squaw Valley? What was your position?
Originally I moved down there to go to a school called Sierra College, and it's in Incline Village. So I was kind of trying to justify my move for my parents. Like, I'm going to go to college. It's in Tahoe. So this is going to be perfect. And get my business degree in management of resorts and ski resorts. And did that. But of course, half the people probably drop out of that school because they're snowboarding and just want to skip on powder days. And that worked. I worked at a ski resort, Incline Village, called Diamond Peak. Yeah.
Okay.
Diamond Peak. And I did, I was an instructor as well, snowboard instructor.
Nice.
And back up real quick, I was snowboard instructor up here at Silver Mountain for 2 years. So
Okay.
don't get too far ahead. But I did learn and how to instruct here in Idaho at Silver Mountain. Did that for a couple years. Moved to Incline Village and taught there for 1 year, and then moved after that. I'm done with college, taking a break from school. I'm just going to snowboard full time, 100% energy into it. Moved to Olympic Valley at the base of Squaw.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was was that kind of like your home base, and was that kind of like your favorite resort to go out and shred? 'Cause it has such broad terrain, and it's pretty
still
cool.
one of my favorite mountains to ride.
Okay.
If I have the right day and nobody's there, which is impossible.
Well, you can't. Yeah.
But the amount of terrain and the features that mountain can offer you, and the powder when it hits right, it's just like backcountry of really miniature Alaska. It feels like.
Yeah, and it's even gotten bigger now. Now you got Palisades.
Open up the back.
Yeah, and you got Squaw proper and Palisades. So it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't call it Squaw Valley anymore.
I know, isn't that? It's kind of crazy. You can't even call it that anymore. It's like
Palisades.
two different resorts almost, and
So I got really lucky moving to Tahoe because a friend of mine at the college there at Sierra College, it was a girl. She was dating this he's a professional skier named Pete Tankersley. He skied for K2 and Sessions, and he needed a roommate, or he had a home there in Olympic Valley. So I moved in with him, and then his neighbor was JT Holmes, who was a professional skier, still skis amazing and does Red Bull base jumping and things. So we became friends with JT Holmes, and then of course Shane McConkey was across the street from us. So getting to ride with those guys and experience that life. Scott Gaffney was a neighbor as well. So Scott Gaffney is a filmer for ski films like Matchstick Productions, and I was kind of embodied around a lot of skiers, and I think it influenced my riding a lot, which improved me. I hope, but it was just the speed. Like they go, and skiers, as you know, I mean, they're flying everywhere and they're going fast and they're hitting jumps, different angles and different speed. So getting to ride with Shane McConkey and JT Holmes and Pete and these guys down there and get to experience their way if they see the mountain helped me, I think, a lot.
Yeah. Let's talk about Tahoe a little bit more. So, you were at Squaw.
Right.
Is that your favorite resort? Because we all know Tahoe has no shortage of resorts down there. Was that your favorite one to go to day in and day out?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I spent a lot of time on the mountain there. Of course, we hit Boreal, Rose Mountain, and did some backcountry in the Rose Mountain area.
Yeah.
We never really went South Lake, I don't think. We kind of had this maybe it
it's
was
like
this
South
me.
Lake versus Truckee.
It was totally. It was
always.
It was Truckee or North Shore. You want to claim North Shore and you'd be up there, and everyone had their South Lake posse of homies.
Yeah, that's cool though. So many great riders have come out of Tahoe, which is kind of crazy. Whether it be from Jamie all the way up to Travie, and everyone in between. So
I mean, I don't even know. I mean, all the riders were there. I mean, Todd Richards was riding the pipe when I was there, and then
of course
Kevin
he always
Jones
was riding the pipe.
I worked with Scotty Whitlake in the snowboard park because I worked grooming the snowboard park for a little bit there too, as just to get my season pass.
Yeah,
and from the guys who kind of made the sport what it is to like these young guns coming up. Was really fun to be around it. The energy there. I mean, it's Squally Wood, so of course everyone's trying to get their name up there and get their shots. And
yeah. I have so many good. Like I have a friend right now, Devontae Johns. He's a Reno Truckee guy.
Yeah.
Mountain Vibes rider, all the way up to like Casey Willax, famous YouTuber, and it's really cool to see like them tell the story of Tahoe within like their own story and everything like that, and to hear your story of you going through there, during that time. What were the years that you were down there?
I think it was 1998 till about 2001.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So prime time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I felt like it. It's always the prime time when you're there.
Yeah.
It felt amazing though. Great big storms coming through. Dave Cioni lived down the road from us too, a few blocks, a filmer, and the guy filmed one of my favorite movies, Subject Hawkinson.
Okay. Yep.
And who else? Well, there was just all the guys were there. You
All
felt
the
like you were
guys.
just going to premieres of these ski movies and snowboard movies, and just you were in the thick of it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it really feels cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's other space like it really on the mountain. Maybe there's something in Colorado or Utah, but
Yeah.
school's different.
Yeah. There's a reason why many riders go to Tahoe and spend, especially when they're young, to try and get their name out there and make a go of it. And I feel like Salt Lake is at that, within like the bomb hole community
sure.
and everything else that's going on in Salt Lake. There's that whole scene is like starting to rival Tahoe, but there's still like they're not that far apart from each other. So it's really cool to like see people like, kind of go in between those two places and, do what they got to do whenever they need to and make a go of it for sure.
And for filming and shooting there, you get more sunny days. And I think just the snow comes in overnight. You wake up and you have 2 feet of fresh and it's sunny.
Yeah.
You're like, can't beat it.
Yeah. And, you're not far from Mammoth, which
Right.
is just another legendary spot that, was kind of, I guess you could say like Mammoth was a little bit before like Tahoe blew up.
Mm-hmm.
There was that time in like the early 90s that Mammoth was like the spot to be at. And then kind of Tahoe followed in regards. So, but it's really cool to see. During your time down Tahoe, is that really when you started to get into photography and that started to take off for you?
Yeah, I did. I did another class when I was at Sierra College in the darkroom again, just more photography focused. And then the roommate, Pete, who I moved in with, he was also a photographer. So it was kind of perfect. We were just good relationship. We go out and shoot together, build kickers together, and get buddies and friends to come out. And we would just submit photos. And it kind of felt like we were doing this like tag team of shooting, filming, and hiking and getting the backcountry as much as we could and find the guys who wanted to throw their bodies off jumps and cliffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then submitting the photos and getting more published here and there. It took me down a path of like, okay, I could do this if I put a lot of energy and effort into it and travel and make some money, but it's not going to be enough to support me down the road to provide for a family. And that's kind of where the whole thing shifted from snowboarding influenced photography and sports and action, which I still love to do the most probably, but it took me into commercial photography and fashion photography. And fast forward a few years after living in Tahoe, I'm like, I got to get my act together if I'm going to really be a photographer. So there was this school in Santa Barbara, California called Brooks Institute of Photography. So I applied for that and got accepted. I think just as long as you have money, I guess they'll take you.
Yeah.
But
enough for tuition.
well, it used to be a little harder to get in, I think, but then all of a sudden they're letting anyone in who can say, hey, we'll get you a loan for tuition. And got in there, but it was cool. It was small classes, probably like 20 kids in a class. And we're all just loving living the dark room, shooting, and digital cameras just came out. There was like I think a 4 megapixel camera that took like 10 seconds to review on the back. You would shoot a snap and it'd just process it and on the screen 10 seconds later. So it was not quite there yet digitally. Anyways, went to Brooks and did my time there and got into photography in a different whole commercial aspect, which paid better, had more opportunities to meet different clients and shoot all over the world really, and traveled the world several times just doing commercial work and advertising. But there's always that photography part of me that would always look back to snowboarding, either use it as my influence in the way I either shot even fashion or lifestyle. I was always taking my ability to capture the moment in action. And I love shooting like sequences, no matter what, having a fast frame rate camera.
Yeah.
And then I always would dabble still with trying to keep my foot in the game of snowboarding still. So I'd connect with the the magazines once in a while and check in and see if I can still do something for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. After your time in Tahoe, where, you go to Santa Barbara to school, after, you finished up school and kind of get into that commercial photography, where were you based at? Were you based in LA or New York or? Yeah,
I went from Santa Barbara. A bunch of friends went down to LA and I just didn't like LA. and didn't want to deal with that traffic. And
Sure.
I heard, I'd never been to New York in my life, and I kept on hearing people who live there, but were in California now, saying, I just want to be in New York again. I'm like, why are they loving New York so much? I mean, California's awesome, the coast. And so I'm like, I got to experience it. So I just flew with basically my camera bag and a backpack full of clothes in New York City. And I'm like, I'm going to move here and just commit to being a professional photographer. And it was tough to even call myself that. At first, you're like, I'm just kind of hoping to make a living doing this. But once you start calling yourself that and kind of living into it and saying, I am a professional photographer, it changed the way people approached you, especially in New York City. They would just be like, all right, well, here's a business card. You should contact my producer friend, or you should contact this company. I'm friends with their CEO. And I'm like, oh man, it turned out to be a really snowballed, it's a blessing, but it turned out to be a great opportunity for me to get clients and jobs and basically make a career for like 20 something years in photography. Not that long all in New York, but about 8 or 9 years in New York City doing photography with clients, and still dabbling in snowboarding though, because they had a mountain outside of New York City. It was in New Jersey, just west of New York, called Mountain Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know that mountain?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Cool little mountain park. They even have mountain biking in the summer, which I do with my buddies. And I met with the marketing director there, who was this cool girl just doing the marketing there, and she hired me to do their advertising for 3 or 4 years. So I'd shoot and film and do things for their marketing.
Yeah.
So still in the business with snowboarding.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. So would you kind of just like sprinkle in whatever snowboard photography that you could get your hands on, and then kind of like intertwine that with your more commercial mainstream jobs and whatever your schedule allowed? You still were doing snowboard photography during all those years? There
was a time frame in my life that snowboarding kind of was just absent a little. I mean, it was still there, but it wasn't like me pursuing it as much. It was kind of if it fell in my lap, or someone would call me up, or like I would see some big event happening. I'm like, hey, can I go do that? I have a couple weeks off. I'm gonna go shoot this, Mount Stratton or something, like the US Open. And they're like, sure, go up there and shoot some photos and send us what you get. So I would just contact them and say, hey, I'm gonna be up in this area. It's kind of a cool strategy. I would even fake it like, hey, I'm flying to Switzerland. Do you guys need me to shoot anything? But I wasn't going there. But if they say, yeah, let's do some stories out there, then I'm booking a ticket tomorrow. Yeah. And that's how I'd find actually a decent amount of clients. I started producing that as my, even in commercial world, like, hey, I'm going to go to Brazil. Do you want to shoot a fashion line down in Brazil while I'm there? I know you own a clothing line here in New York, but let's shoot in Brazil. I'm already going to be there. And they're like, that's a great idea. And then I'd end up just kind of producing it. And I'm like, I wasn't going to Brazil, but now I am. That's kind of a little not a white lie, but just kind of making sure that they know I'm out there and that there's some opportunity when I'm traveling. It pays for my way to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like like a hack.
Yeah. A little
niche
nugget.
Almost be like, hey, or just like a way to like maybe get your creative idea out to them. Yeah. And make it happen without them even like, I don't know. What would you call that? It's like you're almost like a genie. Like you wish this,
slice
don't
of cheese
you?
out there and see if they'll bite it. I mean, yeah, it was fun. And then if some people I knew too closely, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Brazil. And they're like, yeah, we can't do a shoot down there. We don't have the budget. And then they're like, how was that trip to Brazil? I'm like, oh, it didn't work out. It didn't go. Yeah, I was like, sorry. So it could backfire on you.
Totally. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
But a lot of the clients, when I would say this one cool client would fly me, I would just dream up an idea. Let's go to Italy to shoot. And they're like, sure, let's do it. And they wouldn't even come out on the shoot anymore, the owner of the brand. They would just let me go and shoot and trust me with my photography team, my makeup artist, and the models that I would hire. And we would just shoot in Italy. And then I would stay. If it was the right time of year, I'd go somewhere else and try to tag team another shoot there.
Sure.
Say I am really there. It's not like a fake one either. Yeah. And I'll stay an extra week because normally I'm only there for 3 or 4 days. And when you go that far, you want to stay a little longer. So I like, hey, I'm already in Italy this time and my makeup artist is already here. Do you want to extend us, 3 or 4 more days? We'll do another shoot. And that's kind of just pushing your wagon down the road, get more clients and
self-promotion and just hustling.
Yeah. It's the hustle.
Yeah. It's like almost like being like an entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah. And creating your own your own thing and doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. So commercial photography, did you work primarily like in fashion, or was it maybe some other categories that some of our listeners might not even know that you can, go shoot something like that and get paid money for it?
Yeah, I mean, it was out there, started off in fashion. You kind of cut your teeth in New York working as a photo assistant, and I was still doing my own jobs with Snowboard magazine and who other clients would hire me. But then I'm also getting my money or my bread and butter from photo assisting another photographer who was doing like those catalogs.
Okay.
Not big names. I mean, there's like Izod. What are these other company names? I don't know. Like Eddie Bauer.
Okay.
Land's End catalog. So it's kind of fashion, but it's more like lifestyle fashion. People out in the woods
Outdoorsy,
with a
yeah.
Labrador, jumping in a canoe with their flannels and stuff like that. But
Very cool.
It was cool. It was fun. We'd go to these great new locations, and it allowed me to travel and see the world. And these photographers that I was assisting became good buddies with mine. And sometimes I would, hey, let's just stay another week and then go over here and explore this ski resort. Or if you want to, check out a mountain we're nearby and it's kind of snowing now. So they would even stay along with me, and we would just go and explore the mountain, and I would shoot things there and then submit it to a magazine and be like, oh, that's cool. I got another photo published from just on a side hustle too trip.
Nice.
And anyways, all that turned into me kind of moving away from photo assisting, doing my own jobs. Like I shot a campaign for Coca-Cola once, shot for, later on I shot for Apple for about 5 years, just shooting them as a freelance photographer. And then Target, I did video and stills for Target. And that was just kind of a weird transition from, they asked me one day, like, do you do video work? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And I was okay with it, but I wasn't really claiming to be a director or anything. But I ended up just shooting. And after that, they hired me, 4 or 5 more times, only strictly video work. So it changed the whole, I'm like, okay, now I got to be a director and a photographer and present that on my website and on my Instagram account. And that's when things started changing a lot too, with the world being online and more social too.
Yeah. A lot more video format. People want to see people's lives through video. And
yeah. And I had to produce like a reel or at least put up a bunch of content and stuff that I've showed that I work with commercial clients and big productions and, could travel and keep my junk together. Yeah. What I was going with that, but
it's a definitely an interesting world. It has evolved, especially within, I would say like the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And the YouTube community, and within that community, you got to stay relevant on Instagram, and some people do TikTok now and all that kind of stuff. So there's it's just like a broad range of like short form all the way up to like long form videos. And also being a photographer within that too, like you want to be able to capture like the still shots and as well within your stuff.
And that's how I would market to the client. I'm like, hey, now that I'm doing more video work, I could do the campaign, all stills, but let's just add another couple line items here for the budget. And would you want to do video as well? I might add one more day on the trip, or maybe nothing. We can tag team with another videographer to come along and I'll just help direct. And that just a lot of times sold the package where you're getting the same the same talent, same lighting, same wardrobe, and you're in the same location and you're there. Let's just do the video.
Sure.
And that helped a lot, like increased my potential to make money, and the budgets went up and helped out.
Yeah.
And it was a learning curve that had to grow really quickly with me because I'm not great with sound, but as long as I get a sound engineer, someone else to help me out. And sometimes you get the budgets where you can get a gaffer, audio engineer and everything. It's kind of fun.
That's pretty awesome.
It becomes just more like, just put it here and make it look good.
Yeah. It's definitely a world that I've dived into, within this realm of like podcasting and going out and doing like a couple video projects last season, and now, expounding upon that and kind of working with, a local shop here, doing some more content for them and stuff. You got to learn quick to what's going to look good, what's going to sound good, what people are into, and just have that like frame of thought when you go into, just going into like film, some short content or, doing a whole day project or a whole season project. So that's what I've really enjoyed learning. And man, YouTube, you can learn anything on YouTube. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just go on there and be like, hey, how do I do this? And
amazing people are filming that. And they're doing pretty good content to put it out there, like how to screw in your microwave oven. We're like, man,
right.
You put a lot of time into this.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I, what kind of caulking do I need for the bathroom? Right. Yeah. And how do I make it good?
2015 Toyota Tundra bumper replacement. It's like there. It's on there.
Totally.
Yeah. So, yeah. What's the best form of whatever?
I'm thankful for those people that do that. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
And they get and you click on it and you're like, oh my God, they got like 900,000 views. Because people need to know that kind of stuff. And so it's great for them. And then, of course you have like, the content creators, whether it be anywhere from like snowboarding to van life to anything really. Like you could click on really any sport, any type of life that you want to see and like kind of learn more about. And right there's somebody there that has a lot of knowledge about it.
Well, do you curate your algorithm? Like,
I have no idea about the algorithm. I literally type in Google, like, on the day I'm about to post something or the day before, I'm like, what's the best time to post on Instagram tomorrow or something?
I mean, just curate what's getting shown to you, I guess. We all do without knowing about it, but I kind of try to focus on making sure that my content that I get sold, like on Instagram or even Facebook or TikTok, it's something that I want to see.
Yeah.
So if you scroll over, you probably know this, and there's probably bigger brains that are going to say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But if you scroll slowly over an Instagram feed, they're going to show you more of that. But if you go past it pretty fast, you might get less of that later. But if you sit, and so I'll like things that I'm not going to sit here and watch, Travis Rice do this run like so many times, but I'll like it. I'll even make a comment, and I'm going to get more of that Travis Rice stuff.
Sure.
And then basically my algorithm now is like parenting tips and snowboarding videos. And I'm like, this is perfect. I need both of those.
I see. Yeah, that's exactly like my algorithm. It's
you have fly fishing in there.
I got fly fishing. It's funny though. It's like in the summer, of course, like everything kind of goes away for snowboarding unless I, but then all the clips come out from Mount Hood or whatever. And so those get funneled in and I see those and I like all those. But then the fly fishing really takes over from all the content and stuff. So it's always parenting stuff,
right?
Which is super funny, and be like, oh, all this stuff like, oh, your kids are doing this, and like millennials act this way, and all this kind of stuff. And then in the winter, it's snowboarding.
Don't yell at your kid. Try this instead.
Yeah.
Like, oh, perfect. I like that guy.
Yeah. Or I also have a lot of like 6'7" funny claims. Yeah. And like, kids these days, 6'7".
Did someone
6'7"?
dare you to sneak that in?
No. I just see it everywhere, and then they'll pop in like millennials back in the day, and it's like a Tupac song or something.
Oh,
like
right.
that.
This is what we were doing. We were rapping.
This is what we were doing. Yeah. Or like Limp Bizkit or like something like that. And I'm like, oh, they just cater to like our mind, and sometimes it's kind of freaky almost. Like
it is, yeah.
Like, oh, I was thinking that like literally like a minute ago, and then here it is on my phone.
Yeah, I wanted that shoe. How'd they know I want that shoe?
Seriously.
I'm gonna order it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's super funny.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about she had sore shoulders, a sore neck, and we were just in bed talking. Our phones are plugged in, but they're in the room. And the next morning I wake up and the first thing is like all these ads for like self-massaging chairs and things.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I guess you got turn them off, put them somewhere else.
Spooky.
Yeah. But it is what it is these days.
Yeah. They're always, it's just, they're listening to us.
Yeah. I know everyone's like afraid of Big Brother, but I always tell them I always wanted a Big Brother. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It is super funny though.
Back to one more little caveat to New York City. When I was there, I just remember like me carrying around, because it's different thinking about the iPhone and how you show your portfolio now on either. People want to see your Instagram account. And if you have like 100,000 followers, then they'll hire you. And if you have 10,000, like, maybe not. But back in the day, I would just carry around a huge canvas bag that was a 16 by 20 or 13 by 20 prints, all horizontal. And so I'd almost shoot a lot of horizontal so it looks cinematic. And so it kind of sell me as a cinematic photographer slash director. But so I would basically walk around with this thing that weighed like 35 pounds, and it was prints, like actual beautiful prints that I had to either do myself or send off to pay a lot of money for it. I would go up in elevators, knock on doors, try to get into Condé Nast, magazine publishing, and that's how you had to go and show your work. Was just walking around with a portfolio, sweating in the heat of New York City subways, and then getting out and trying to lie through the front desk who's not let you in. Like, yeah, I have a meeting with so and so. You just drop a bunch of names. You go back again the next day and try it again, and finally get up to the waiting room. And they're like, sorry, he's not going to see you. I'm like, I'm just going to stay here. It's like these movies. You're like, I'm just going to wait here until someone comes out.
Right.
And it's sometimes like that. It was kind of fun. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to dare myself to sit here all day. And who comes out at lunch, I'm going to talk to him. Like, hey, do you work in the editing department?
Yeah. It reminds me of Entourage.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen it, but I know I should watch it.
There's so many scenes where like it's just like, okay, I'll be here all day until they come out.
Yep. You wait for them.
Yep. You just gotta, and then people like see that dedication, and they'll like maybe give you like 5 minutes, and then that's your opportunity.
And then
That's
the
crazy.
iPads came out, and that's when I started shipping iPad. I would send a whole iPad with video work as well as photography, and then my actual print work as well. And you hope the iPad comes back. A lot of times they would just like keep it, and then you go back. Like, where's my iPad? They're like, oh yeah, it's here, floating around the office somewhere. We like that little iPad.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, you travel, based in New York for a while. After being in New York, what was like your next move? Did you get back to California, or was it the time that you kind of made the transition back here?
No, so I got married in New York to my wife, and we met there. And anyways, we got engaged, got married in Santa Barbara because we just love Santa Barbara. No family there, just wanted to do a little destination wedding. And after that, she graduated from med school, and she needed to do residency. And so she applied in San Francisco, LA, and New York, and got in at San Francisco, and decided, let's just do West Coast again. Moved away. So lived in San Francisco for about 4 years before coming back to Idaho.
Okay.
So we were there, and then I would go up and ride Tahoe when I got the opportunity to, but I was still just I was really deep into hustling and grinding for photography, and working at that time is when I got a client to work with Apple and some other Target and things. It just kept me busy, and you wanted to stay busy, and it's expensive to live there, so you couldn't really have a lot of free time. And my mind kind of got off snowboarding for a little bit, and moving back up here just got me I don't know, I want to say grounded, but just to show me what my whole kind of picture of my life has been, a blessing of just living in the life of snowboarding and still pursuing it, whether I was like 100% in or 50% in, I was still loving it, keeping a little bit of tabs on it, but not knowing all the young kids and all the new brands coming out as much as I wished. But kind of getting back into it, being a dad up in Idaho now.
Yeah.
So it was 2013, moved up to Couer D Alene with my wife, and we had one kid at that time. Now we have 3. And now just kind of showing the kids the stoke and showing them whether it's ski films or snowboard films. All my kids ski right now, but I always make them snowboard a couple days a year.
Nice.
To try to kind of feed that into their system.
Okay.
And I think it'll come around.
Yeah.
Not like I care, but I kind of love to have a snowboard buddy too.
Guys, I want to talk about a new sponsor for Let's Talk Snowboarding, which is the Ski Shack in Hayden, Idaho. Ski Shack is a local family-owned and operated ski and snowboard shop located in Hayden, Idaho. They specialize in sales, rental, and repair, and they opened in 1976. That's going on 50 years up here in North Idaho. They have been offering a skiing and snowboarding to North Idaho and beyond for that much time, which is crazy. One of the oldest ski shops in the entire state. We appreciate everyone at the ski shop for supporting Let's Talk Snowboarding. So go in there as soon as possible and get yourself dialed, whether it be getting a fresh tune-up for your board or skis or grabbing some new gear, because they got all the best in outerwear and also in boots and bindings, boards and skis. So head on over to Ski Shack, located at 9437 North Government Way in Hayden, Idaho, and have some fun
picking out some cool stuff.
Too.
Yeah. It's
Like it.
it's always an interesting transition. You know, you feel like, from what I've always heard, like, you know, most kids, you know, even myself, like, I tried to snowboard my first day and I couldn't do it. So I skied for a few years and then made the transition back. But, you know, it's just sometimes it's a little bit easier for like lots of kids. to
Sure,
start
standing
out.
up. It's just standing up.
Yeah.
And
And,
so-
you know, you're oriented in the way that we
Right.
live our lives straight ahead. And, you know, standing sideways is always a little bit different for people. But, you know, I haven't pressured my kids
Right.
or anything like that, but they're 4 and 3.
Yeah.
But they
you got
just,
time.
I've asked them many times when we go get our rentals,
Mhm. You want
do
to
you
do
want-
a snowboard this time?
do you want to try, hey, no, I don't even, they're like, we want to snowboard. I'm like, okay, do you want to try skis?
Oh,
And they're like, no.
no way. Well, there you go.
But I've been showing them snowboard video parts
yeah,
year round for
Yep.
since they were born. So
keep-
that's all they see.
keep that in front of them. No, I know. Like they, all of them start off skiing just because the ease, like you said, of just
Yeah.
standing up, going the right direction. And now, my 8-year-old daughter, she's our youngest. She's 8, and she said this winter, I'm not going to ski. I'm going to snowboard.
Oh, that'll
So
be
I'm
fun.
like, I'm going and getting you stuff. We're going to get the gear. We already have most of the gear for her, but I'm going to get her some setup. Really
Yeah.
nice.
And are you teaching them yourself as far as that goes?
Yeah, as far as snowboarding, I think I will. I didn't really do the teaching of skiing for them. We did put them in classes, and I wanted to go get my own turns
Okay.
in. But with snowboarding, I've so far been doing it myself.
And was that at Schweitzer? That
Yeah,
You guys put in?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just that run is just the best place to Bunny Hill.
I
yeah.
wonder who their instructors were. You remember any names?
I'm terrible with the names up there, unfortunately. Sorry,
Okay.
Josh. I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't ski instructor probably, so.
No, not me, not I.
No, I was just curious.
But if
See if
I
anything
mean, we
popped.
might. If she wants to do a snowboard instructor, I'll totally do that. I don't need to be the dad who teaches her either.
Sure.
But it's kind of fun to have a little bit of back knowledge still from my days of instructing how to
Yeah.
do it. But yeah.
That's how I operate too.
hmm
I mean, you know, as an instructor, you kind of know everything.
hmm
You don't need to pressure them. You just keep it fun for them, especially
Yeah.
when they're little kids. And if they're done, then they're done. It's like,
Make
You go.
games out of it. I keep M&Ms in my pocket still, and
oh,
I
that's
call
smart.
it speed beans. And we're like, you need a speed bean? And we just give them a little on the chairlift 2 or 3, and I want more. I'm like, nope, not until the next lap you get more. So
There you go.
overfeed them
I like that.
the candy.
Definitely, man. So, you know, back to photography, you know, we kind of went over all of your commercial stuff and what you've been into. I kind of want to hear a couple, like, you know, Chris Robbins is the reason why, you know, you
right.
and I got together today. He suggested that you would be an amazing guest, and you have been so far. But when I talked to him, I was like, he's like, have you ever heard of Chad? And I was like, no, I don't know Chad. He's like, well, he's worked with like pro riders from Sean to all these other people. Like, what's been some of the coolest like experiences that you've had
Yeah.
photographing and you know, shooting snowboarding?
Yeah, they're all so unique and so awesome. That's just because snowboarding's awesome, and
Yeah.
you're around the people who love it. And I just kind of want to get back almost into it if I could. But it's a young man's game. And then, so my favorite memories was Snowboard Magazine invited me or flew me over to what's it called, the Arctic Challenge in Norway.
Okay.
And just seeing that in video parts and watching that and being my grown up hero was Terje, and wanting to just shoot him. So they went over there and shot a couple portraits of Terje, and then Jamie Lynn was there as well. And I'm like, cool, let's get to shoot Jamie Lynn, a portrait of him, and just seeing these icons and just hitting that quarter pipe and going so big. I'm like, this is cool. And playing a crazy cool country like Norway.
Yeah.
Even though it's really expensive. I forgot my deodorant. I went in to get some deodorant. It's like $28.
Oh my gosh.
For a stick of deodorant
Ouch.
in US dollars. I'm like, wow, no, how do they live here? But that was a really cool moment, and just getting to experience that, and getting invited with, you get special access to like the after parties, and you're hanging out, rubbing shoulders with them, and
Yeah.
seeing them all hang out, and doing that. And then going to another trip was up to Whistler, and I shot JF Pelchat, some of the Wildcat guys in the
Nice.
backcountry, and we just wasn't really a big kicker or anything big. We just kind of snowboarded off some sleds and made a little jump and then did some just pow turns and shot more of the fashion stuff. So I was kind of doing a little bit of the fashion clothing. They call it the kits in Snowboard magazine, where we would shoot whatever, the new gear coming out for next season.
Yeah.
So boots, boards, all the jackets, pants, and everything.
Very cool.
So they put them on the pros, and we go out and just kind of showcase that with a little bit of action, a little bit of fashion mixed in there.
Nice.
But then, of course, Sean White was just epic because it went down to, I went down to Chile, to Las Leñas. No. That's in Argentina. Valle Nevado was in Chile, and flew down there and showed up, and I'm like, it's crazy because it's like Southern California in the middle of the winter down there, because all the people that you know from Tahoe or Southern California, Mammoth, are down there snowboarding.
Yeah.
in this scene. So you see all the same people, and it's kind of fun to be in that moment where everyone's riding powder again in August. I think that was actually one of my best memories. Was my birthday's in August, last day of August 31st, and we hiked up outside of off the chairlift, just off, out of bounds there a little bit, and there was some big powder line. I told everyone, they knew my birthday, and they're like, Chad, you get the first tracks. But I was up there supposed to be shooting, so I let someone else carry my backpack, and I got the first line, and that was just memorable, just mocking down. Felt like I was the fastest I was ever going down a mountain and doing huge pow turns. I wish they shot photos of it. It would have been cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man.
But just hanging on, my knees are about to buckle, and I'm like still young and had some strength, but I felt like I was just going to lose it any second. And I look back, and you can look back and still see your pow. I'm like, I feel like Dave Downey right now.
Yeah. Dang, dude.
And that's just in my head. I have a picture of myself somehow, like out of body experience. I'm like, that was probably the coolest thing I've done snowboarding. Just a huge pow turn in like Valle Nevado. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. It's always cool to like, I've had a couple homies to come out and like take photos, and I'm like, I'm not worthy of like getting a photo or anything like that. But it's always really cool when those like awesome photographers like capture a sick photo of you, and you're like, oh dang, that looks actually pretty dang good.
Heck yeah.
Like Tracy Tuttle, shout out up at Schweitzer.
All right.
She's a big homie. She's taken a couple excellent shots of me and my homie. As I, try to get into that as well. It's like always really, really cool to like have those homies that help you out, and then I kind of can take from them, and kind of learn from them and try and do my own thing too. So
yeah, I think it's I want to find that crew still up here more, and just even the young kids out there throwing down, just to find them and hopefully stoke them out. I mean, I don't need to make the jobs from it anymore. I just want to go out and shoot beautiful shots and action stuff with the kids.
There's no shortage of stoke, especially up at Schweitzer. You get out there like really on any day, but you get out there on like a sunny park day, and you bring your camera and you're just like kind of set up and doing your thing. Almost every kid is like, will come up and be like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? I was like, I'm just shooting homies, dude. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll throw something sick on this next run. Yeah. Or something like that. And then you get to know them and know all the people, and it's a good time.
That's how it started out in Tahoe a little bit, shooting just the park jumps and just hanging out there, waiting for everyone to roll through, and someone's going to come through as a pro, and then I see, oh, that's their board brand. Let's just send it to that company. Yeah. Sometimes you get published like that. A lot of times they have their staff photographer there, and then they'll be like, hey, get out of here. Don't shoot that guy.
Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's like some crews and stuff, but I really, when I first moved up here, I got into it actually with Josh, and we, one of our first years like riding together, like I can't remember how I got a GoPro, but I was able to get a GoPro somehow. And so that was right around the time that Gimbal God and Stale were like blowing up. And I was like, oh, I want to do stuff like that. That's sick. And so him and I made a few runs through the park, and this is before I knew how to edit or anything, but there's one shot that I got through him, like, and I think it was almost like a full pull on rails that he got, and it was super sick, and it's still on my YouTube right now. Oh, I just call it Sunday in the Park with like Josh or something like that. And it was like an older GoPro, but the lighting was right and everything looked really good, and Josh laid a nice rail run down. So yeah, that's where it started, and that's.
Are you a rail guy?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, man.
I mean,
I'm so scared of them now.
He's a sick skater.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
that's
It started with skateboarding, and then I just transitioned to snow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Envious of skateboarders.
Yeah.
They got all the skills.
Yep. Josh has the skills.
I got some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It's a
also
skateboard.
a crazy wake skater and
Oh, cool. Yeah.
wakeboarding
So
too.
that,
And
that helps.
so, yeah, all the board sports.
Yeah.
Josh is
Yeah.
really
It all
proficient at.
transitions. It all flows, you know.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Going sideways.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty
Speaking
much.
of going, I was going back to the kids learning about how to go skiing. And when I started skiing, I was, as a kid, I was still jumping and everything on my skis. And I went to snowboarding. I'm like, I'm going to hit and just a mogul and jump. But every time I'd jump in the air, I would automatically turn my body like a skier. And I'd just like, boom, face plant. And it took me a long time to understand how to still stay sideways and land.
Yeah.
But I would just turn and I just like front edge, scorpion,
Oh, no.
like so many times.
Ouch.
So I finally learned how to fall better. I think that's what snowboarding is, right? Like to me, I tell my kids, it's just about learning how to fall gracefully and keep the momentum going and roll out of it. Fast stopping is where you get hurt.
Yeah.
Don't stop fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely the crash test dummy for all my friends for
Mhm.
like a few years before I finally learned how to land and keep riding. It took me a while.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about like some summer stuff. So I see the t-shirt,
Oh yeah.
the Panhandle Bike
Represent.
Ranch representing. How was how was your summer as far as mountain biking goes?
Oh, it was good. I think I got the most days on mountain biking this year I'm not like a mountain biker, but I'm just getting more into it and finding a crew of people up here because of Chris as well.
Yeah.
From Trek there, and finding we have a text group right now of like 25 people in it, and we just send a text, who wants to ride Canfield, who wants to ride Beacon, who wants to ride Schweitzer, and there's always at least a couple people wanting to go out, and we've been doing night rides the last couple weeks
Nice.
with these big bright lights and it's light it up, man, and you feel like you can ride just like you are in the daytime.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, I might get some haters, but I mean, the e-bike thing changed me too. I
Yeah.
was, always pedaling, and it would just take me when I'm sitting here at home doing some work. I'm like, I want to go ride. The sun's setting, but I have to pedal up. Then it's going to take me X amount of time to get up to Canfield and then ride down. I'm not going to it's just going to be hard to do it with kids and life. But the e-bike changed everything. Now I'm just out. I know I can get up the mountain so fast and get like 2 or 3 laps in faster than I can get one probably in, close from pedaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I like the weight of the e-bike actually, just it feels more like in between a lightweight dirt bike and a mountain bike. It's a little heavier, keeps you grounded.
It's a good thing to have in the bike quiver.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I still have a Salsa full suspension mountain bike that I'll ride.
Nice.
If no one has an e-bike, I'll pedal with them. But a lot of times we have a lot of e-bikes and I just don't want to do that. So
Especially going up
it's-
Canfield, man. That's
it's
steep.
kind of like riding uphill fast. Like you're going up Canfield like 12, 15 miles per hour and you're like doing turns, making cool, trail riding uphill
Right.
versus just trying to pedal and stay on top of the bike.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like I went snowboarding one time with some guys up at Roman Nose, and we took some, what are those called? Timber sleds. And first time riding a timber sled, I'm a decent dirt biker, but timber sledding was really difficult right at first to understand how to tilt the bike and turn into it. But once you get it, it's way easier than a snowmobile, and you're not going to get stuck as much, and you can really have so much more fun going through tight trees uphill. You're uphill, shredding pow uphill. It's amazing.
Very cool.
But
Nice.
and then it's not summertime, of course, everyone's on the lake. We're doing kids tubing, and whenever we have friends who have nice boats, I'll go out and wake surf with them.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then I got to talk about the hat, man, because that's like the biggest bucket list item I have
Yeah.
is to get up there at
Dude,
some point. But
we can get you in.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, there's seats open every year. Well, yeah, so Baldface Lodge.
Yep.
I guess a quick backstory on that, if you have time. Like,
Oh, of course.
so
You can talk to me about Baldface all day.
Yeah.
That's like my dream.
kind of happened with a local friend of mine, Jeremy Klein. He's actually a good ripper here in Coeur d'Alene. And me, him, and another friend who's a skier, Conrad, Frank, we decided just to do the Stellar Heli, which is north of Nelson,
Yeah.
about another hour. And I just said, hey, there's a day trip. Let's just go up there. I forget how much it was, but it wasn't terrible for one day of a heli. Went up there, did that. was epic. Had a great time doing our first time ever heli skiing at Stellar. Great terrain. I didn't realize it was so cool up there. So much to access. And I'm like, man, we live in such a rad, the Powder Highway area, and it's not that far from Coeur d'Alene. As I was coming through Nelson, I just saw the Baldface Lodge like logo. I'm like, I know that. I didn't know it was here in Nelson. So I stopped in, knocked on the door, walked in, and just introduced myself to the lady at the front desk. I'm like, well, I've been wanting to do this forever. Can I put myself on a list? They're like, yeah, it's a long waiting list, but we'll put you on. So it took me 2.5 years of me just calling them, kind of bugging them, emailing them, hey, is there any openings? Even if it's 2 people, we were trying to get like 4 or 5 people. They're like, there's maybe it's 4 or 6 seats open, December 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I'm like, oh, that's the first of snowfall, really. It's not much going on, but like, let's take it. So Jeremy Klein was one of the guys, went up there. Another local writer, Tony Fasciano. I don't know if he was in the first trip. A good buddy of mine, Mike Jones, who lives in Bozeman now, and then me, a few other guys. Anyways, went up there, and it was just, all time beautiful. Early season, so we were staying at some different, locations that they couldn't access all of their terrain they can.
Yeah.
But just seeing the Craig Kelly cross and just getting the cats pulling up with their Baldface sticker, you feel like you're in a video part.
Almost,
it was like a movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyway, so it took me a while to get in, and then once you get in, what happens is you just kind of stay on their list. And then they say, like 3 days after you check out, you got to book now for next season. Save your dates. I'm like, oh man, we just spent all this money. So you put your credit card down, you pay for it again next season. You pay it in like 3 or 4 installments, and it locks in your date again. So now once you're in, you can either stay in, but if you get out, you might be back on the waiting list for who knows long, a year or 2 or more.
Man, I think I just did it online, but almost like probably 5 years ago, I put myself on the waiting list, but I haven't done it since. So it's like you probably need to re-up on that every year and stuff. So
I mean, there's 1 seat open in January from another crew that goes up from Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to go with them, but they're a bunch of awesome shredders and wakeboard riders and stuff.
We'll talk more.
Talk more.
If I can make it happen, I will.
I wouldn't mind being on those dates because I think that's January 9th, 10th, 11th or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like you were saying, like it's literally like almost like going to it really is like Mecca. Yeah. Like there's a few Meccas on your bucket list, right? There's, people are always talking about Hood, and me, I always took it. I feel like I took it for granted when I was there at Mount Hood,
right?
Being
what it is, right?
And now I understand like this is the place to be, year round almost. Especially during the summer and stuff. But Baldface,
right?
Like going to see the Craig Kelly cross sword.
Yeah, right.
So they call it the sword now, and just like being up there, like, and seeing a sunset and a sunrise up at Baldface, and taking that heli bump from Nelson.
Yeah.
It's funny. A couple, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, when my kids were really, really little, we took like my first like trip into Canada. Since I was like a really little kid, before I had to have a passport. It was my first like passport stamp ever going into Canada. And my wife was like, where should we go? Should we go to Banff? Where should we go? I was like, why don't we just go? We'll just go up to Nelson.
Yeah, check it out.
She's like, what's Nelson? And I'm like, I just want to go, man, because of all the video. All the video parts I've seen. The street video parts, and Whitewater being so cool, but especially like just being near Baldface, and like going past the airport. And she's like, what are we doing? Why are we driving into like the airport parking lot? I'm like, I just want to see the Baldface like helicopter. And she's seen it since then. Like I've shown her like videos of like what Baldface is, and she was like, man, that would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And and just like seeing like some of my almost every idol that I've ever known has been up there,
and they're filming
stuff.
Parts there still, and they're doing
and they do their
safety training each
their
year.
Awareness classes, and now they got Baldface Valhalla, which is a little bit easier to get into and access, but it's still all time to go up.
I heard
on
the
there.
train is actually better there.
Yeah,
I mean the train's great at Baldface, but you have a little more features, a little more exposure at Valhalla, some maybe steeper lines even. But Yeah.
It was cool to see the natural selection go there
Mhm.
for that one stop and go to Scary Cherry again and
Right.
do that. And yeah,
We never got to ride it, unfortunately. This will
It's
be my
crazy
fourth season
terrain.
going to Scary Cherry. They always kind of keep it closed off until the right people are there, and they don't want us goofing off maybe on it.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty steep run.
you can't, unless you're with Travis, you can't come.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Well, awesome thing, which happens is our dates from that first trip, I kept on just pushing and pushing, like, give me anything to open up that, like, if you can book a full cat of 12 people, we'll give you the 28th, 29th, and 30th of December. So that's when this is what we've been doing now for the last 3 years or so.
Okay.
And it's a better time of the year, right after Christmas, so it's a little bit bummer for the family, but they're okay with it. It's my Christmas gift to myself each winter. So
Yeah.
I'm going again on the 28th, 29th, 30th, or something like that. And every time, because, Jeff, JP up there, he always has a bunch of his family and friends up there. And every time I go on the heli bump from Nelson, who's getting on the heli going back out is Jamie Lynn. So I just see him and I high five. I'm like, what's up? And we just
That's crazy.
kind of just knuckles, and he's super cool. I mean, not like we have time to talk. We're just heli's going, and people are loading bags, and he's jumping in, I'm jumping off, and it's just cool to see Jamie Lynn. He's like up there doing Christmas with his family.
Nice.
And then he's jumping on the heli out.
Yeah, it's been, I recently learned on Bombhole has like a new format. It's called Fast Chat.
Okay.
And Jamie Lynn was the first episode, so they do like a 45 minute type deal. And I didn't know that Jamie Lynn is now based out of Nelson.
I didn't know he was based there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's there now.
No way. Oh, that's why he's there all the time then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably gets free act. I mean, all the time he wants
Same
to
with,
ride.
we were talking about Justin Stenek.
Yeah.
He's there. I mean, he's been there for a while, but
Right.
and it seems like there's
He's
a lot more
doing-
people starting to migrate to that place.
Absinthe TV, I think, is his thing now.
That is his big project now.
Mhm.
Yep, he's taken the Absinthe films and he's like actually doing like full
Crazy.
24/7 Absinthe TV, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Yeah, Nelson's a rad little town. It just feels more European. It feels just different than America when you
So
cross
cool.
the border.
It's like on a steep hill too, and you're just like, oh man, if it snows in town, like it's on. And
Yeah.
there were so many cool stories I heard of them like doing street video parts up there, and just we drove around it when we were up there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a cool spot. This is a cool spot. This is a cool spot.
There's
So-
like little sketchy handrails down.
oh
to
yeah,
parking lots.
and
And
that
things.
would be just insane if you got a clip on it. So, and like I said,
Whitewater's good.
Whitewater's a good spot. And I can't remember the name, like the main older hotel right in the middle of town, the big one. We ate dinner there one night. Literally, probably the best Alfredo I've ever had. I had
cool.
a seafood Alfredo.
There's good food there in Nelson.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, that's the thing about Baldface. You go there and you're like, I'm here for the powder, but the food is almost
Right.
worth coming here for.
Yeah.
Food's so amazing. Maybe it's just because we're on the high of snowboarding powder all day and then we're hungry, but I think it's just super good food. They have
Yeah.
a good chef. He does good up there. Jeff picks out the right crew.
Yeah, and you
And-
get to all come like together for dinner, and
Have you heard much about like during the dinner? There's they always send you out with a cameraman, or at least one cat. There's like 2 to 3 cats going out, of 12 people in each one. And so
Okay.
there's a cameraman dedicated to one of your days is a cameraman filming and shooting you all day. So
That's
you come
cool.
back and he'll put together an edit, and during dinner or after dinner, we'll sit there and have drinks and they'll watch and on the slideshow there, or a big old this screen projected on the wall.
that's sick.
And so they'll have a photo of the day and everyone's like hooting and hollering about the cool lines we got to shoot. And yeah,
Nice.
so it's kind of seeing your own little video part right after dinner there.
That's awesome.
And it's like a history lesson of snowboarding because he has so much collection. It's like a museum.
Yeah.
There's a little chill jam spot where there's
Yep.
couches and then the bongo drums and the guitars there and some custom artwork by Jamie Lynn on the couch and things.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
one of these years, hopefully I can.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Get
we
up
can
there with
figure
you.
it out for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Josh up there one day too.
So that's the thing. We have 12 seats and life happens and everyone says they're going to do it. And then by the time it comes around to November, there's 3 or 4 people that always have to like, something's happened.
Yeah.
Can't
They
make
got prior obligations and
Right.
whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens.
So
yeah. Guys, Let's Talk Snowboarding is presented by Mountain Vibes. And Mountain Vibes was started in February 2016 by our
CEO and founder Justin Desmond. With the input of close friends, Mountain Vibes officially went live November 1st of 2017, and Justin runs it with the help of Mountain Vibes co-owner Emily Sorger and our core team. When Justin created Mountain Vibes, his objective was not only to create a snowboarding company, but also a family where passion and the love of snowboarding outweighed years of experience and where judgment is not tolerated. We don't like the cool guys at Mountain Vibes. Everyone should be included in Mountain Vibes. Passion of snowboarding is what brings us all together and makes us a family. Along with creating a snowboarding family, Quality Snowboarding Apparel, we are a non-profit with an outreach program called Good Vibes and High Fives, where we take less fortunate kids out to snowboard. And I want you to check out our website, mountainvibes.com with a Z, and see what we're all about. We have everything from the charity to the apparel, and we're stoked that Mountain Vibes has presented Let's Talk Snowboarding over these last, 2 years. So thank you to Mountain Vibes. You down to do a smelling salt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have some at home. Not this brand, but I try to get my kids to do it, but they don't want to do it.
No.
I don't know if it's probably good for them.
It can be tough. It's not. It's not for everybody.
Well, the first time I did it was actually at Baldface.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody had it. I think some Canadian guy up there.
Before you dropped in?
All right,
Oh,
Dylan,
wait.
toss me one. I think I'm going for it.
So this is different because they had this powder. You just open the bottle and you smell the powder.
Yeah.
So this is different.
This is a cracker, so you
Crack
just,
it.
we'll wait to do it real quick. We'll all crack them together. And then I just got some set questions that we like to do. And yeah. Hot Takes is sponsored by Ski Shack. Ski Shack has been local, family owned and operated since 1976. Go in there today and get yourself dialed, whether it's on a board or skis. Ski Shack has what you need. And visit them at 9437 North Government Way in Hayden, Idaho, and get yourself dialed out. And then after that,
Have you ever tried to like crack one and then hit a line snowboarding through the trees or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you're about
Keep
to
'em in the
send
pocket.
something gnarly, I've done it before.
Right on.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to get into hot takes, but before we do that, we're going to crack some salts to get ourselves going. So it's just a little crack in the middle.
Oh boy.
Let it turn red.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Woo! Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah.
That's like
Nice.
wasabi.
That's fun. Always wakes you up.
Woo.
Yeah.
Eyes are watering.
Yep. All right. Hot takes. All right, Chad. 3 favorite riders of all time.
Ooh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to go with my childhood favorite, Terry J. Hawkinson, Jamie Lynn for his style and just the methods, that Northwest riding, and then oh boy, who's my other guy? I guess man, how come I can't think of a third rider right now? Terry J, Jamie, and then I guess I would say Devin Walsh. Or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just because that smooth style that I wish I could emulate,
Yeah.
and that skater style, I guess.
Very nice. I like it. What does a perfect day of riding look like for you?
Well, it's got to be Bluebird. It'd be great if it was at Baldface, which there's a bunch of days up there, Bluebird, and just with your tight knit, probably three homies, so 4 total, counting myself. I think 3 after 4 people, it's a little too many, but I think 4 is a great amount to be with my homies, and just I like a little hiking actually. Put a little energy in, sweating to get to the powder and the different lines, but at least 2 feet of snow powder.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What's the board setup right now? You got a couple behind you, but
Yeah, it's changing this year a little bit, but right now what I've been riding for the last couple of years was this 156 family tree from Burton and Union bindings. Then I got my, what is it? The Jones Stratos split board that I've been trying to get more out on. But so my change up is going to be, hopefully this year, is going to be my spring break powder racer.
Nice.
153.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like it, man. That's nice. And are you, how long have you been split boarding? How many
I think I would
seasons
say 3 since I've had my own 3 seasons. I've borrowed before that, but now since I'm trying to get more into it, 3 seasons.
Just depending on like the day and the time and what you want to,
It's
kind
funny.
of the vibe of the day, you take your split board out
I
as
almost
opposed to going to the resort.
Always go up with the resort with my split board in the truck at least.
Okay.
Or I'll keep it in a locker up there we have. And just in case either it provides the opportunity when someone's up there you want to go with, or just a little bit of back access off the tow rope.
Yeah. Off of good old T-bar.
Yeah, the T-bar. Yeah.
At Schweitzer and go to some slack country. And
Yeah, no,
stuff.
if I'm by myself, I obviously stay in low angle.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be more persistent. Even if I'm just resort riding, I'll try to wear my transceiver all the time now, just to get used to it and familiarized. And it's going to help you things can happen in the resort too. So if it's on there, you're ready to go.
Yeah, especially at Schweitzer, it's steep and, they set off as many, bombs and stuff and mitigate as much as they can, but you never know.
And I've get tossed and turned upside down a lot in some trees, and if I'm there, they can hopefully find you quicker.
Right.
So if you want to come back to the lodge, the family can say he has a transceiver on. So
smart idea.
Yeah,
I like it. What's been the greatest experience in your snowboard career?
Greatest experience. I think I went kind of into it earlier about my trip to Chile in middle of August, and getting just to ride that POW line. It's interesting. Those mountains are just kind of volcanoes. They're above timberline. There's no trees, and it's just powder. And if it's a bluebird day, you're dialed. But if it's any sort of overcast, you can't see terrain features, and it's not very fun. So it was a bluebird day, and those POW lines was just pretty amazing. And, I had a bunch of great days in Tahoe, but man, to be honest, I should probably put this in for the kids. Like, wear your helmets. I think so many concussions later, like I can't really put a point on the individual moments. But getting some little filming parts when I was trying to shoot and film and seeing something happen that worked out, like landing a rail. I took a lot of crashes on this rail, and it was in France. We were in Switzerland, but drove over to France to hit this randomly city over there, and this handrail, and it took me 4 or 5 tries, and I just kept on tailboning it on the flat, just ice landing in a parking lot. And I'm not as great of a rail rider, but I finally got it and just felt really accomplished because it was a hard, stiff landing to ride out really fast.
Nice.
Probably like maybe 20 stairs, I guess. For me, it was a big one.
That is a big one. Yeah. You won't see me on any of that stuff. What do you think is currently the worst trend in snowboarding?
Ooh. I don't know. Snowboarding's awesome no matter what you're doing, but
Could be anything from technology to fashion to
attitudes,
trends to attitudes.
I don't know. I feel like the thing that I did it before, so I'm going to tell my own trend that I didn't like doing. I put the Insta360 on top of the helmet, and I looked like a Teletubby.
A unicorn.
The unicorn. I'm like, why am I doing this? And luckily I did a tomahawk, and it came off on its own, and I can't find it. It's in Red Mountain somewhere right now.
Okay.
So I'm like, good. That was my own karma coming back to me. Don't put that on there.
Word. Very cool. All right. Some rapid fire for you, okay? Pants or bibs?
Pants.
Goggles or glasses?
Goggles all the time.
Over or under the helmet?
Wait. Oh, over.
Over. Gotcha. Boa or laces on the boots?
Ooh. Okay. I'm riding boas, but I kind of prefer the feeling of laces.
Nice. Pow or slush?
Pow.
Are you rocking earbuds at all when you're riding by yourself?
One in the left ear.
Okay. What's the vibes on the music? What kind of music are we rocking most days?
It's only two options. It's either Gangstar or Hieroglyphics.
I like it. Nice, dude. Okay, and if you had to pick, what would be your favorite video part that's ever been filmed?
Ooh. Deep take here. I mean, my favorite video maybe probably Simple Pleasures, Stomping Grounds, those guys, but video part. I guess something from Subject Hawkinson as well. Just his like, it sounds silly, but just the no-handed 360 where he's like, I call it Stony Baloney'd out, just standing up tall and straight, and he's like, just something sticks in my head about that because it looked so different and awkward back then. And he was just doing a no-handed like front side 3 off of like a cliff somewhere. And it just made me always just think of that funny style. It wasn't really like a cool poke, boned out Terje style, but
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have that in common. Our favorite riders are Norwegian.
Oh yeah, who's yours?
Ståle.
Oh yeah,
always.
Yeah,
Ståle Sandbeck.
That's rad.
Yep. Well, I just want to say thanks, Chad. Thanks for coming down and chatting with us on the podcast. Really appreciate it. And look forward to getting out there, and whether it be having fun just riding for a day or getting behind the lenses and doing some photography and videography together. It should be.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, now
pray for snow right
just
now.
Knowing more people, Schweitzer is great. Anyone out there is looking to just get some photos and shoot some stuff. I'm always wanting us to be creative on the mountain. Yeah. So just for fun, let's go do something.
Yeah. It's been really cool getting to chill a little bit and getting to know each other, and
let's get you to Baldface.
Get another homie to hang out with and go ride with. So this is gonna be the first time I do this though, but we're gonna take a page from the bomb hole and we're gonna let you sign us off.
Ooh, sign us off. Oh boy, how many takes do I get?
You get as many as you want because editing is something I've gotten better at.
Unlimited.
All right, signing off here in Couer D Alene, Idaho on Let's Talk Snowboarding. Dylan, Josh, and Chad Riley signing off. I guess I should probably not say my last name.
I think we're okay. That was
great.
Want
me to do it again?
No,
that was awesome.
Signing off from Couer D Alene, Idaho.
Sweet. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Peace.
thanks.
All right, bud. Thanks.
Yeah.